I think the way things are now, you have to be really good at social media to be somebody.
Yeah, to a degree.
I suck at it.
Yeah, you're better off not doing it because you have actual skills. A lot of the people that are famous on social media don't have any skills. Like, not to knock that little kid, but what's the Rizzler going to do in 5 years once he has, hair and a deep
wrestling?
voice? Yeah, that might be something he could do.
Dialysis.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Radio Labyrinth.
Welcome to Radio Labyrinth. Thanks again to our guests last week, Matt Dinneman and Jeff Hayes. Everybody make sure that if you're at Dragon Con this weekend, go up to them and say hello and that you enjoyed their interview on the Radio Labyrinth podcast. This week, we are thrilled to welcome back Browan Lollar, the longtime guitarist of the soul powerhouse St. Paul and the Broken Bones. Based out of Birmingham, Alabama, he's been a key part of the band's rise since its formation in 2012, helped shaping that vibrant blend of soul, R&B, and rock conveyed through albums like Half the City, The Alien Coast, and Angels in Science Fiction. Before that, Browan was a guitarist with Jason Isbell in the 400 unit, where he's rooted his playing in the Muscle Shoals tradition. In addition to his music, he's also a talented visual artist, designing album covers for several musicians and running an online shop where he offers commissions and more of his artwork. Today, he's here to talk about St. Paul and the Broken Bones' new self-titled album arriving on October 10th, plus his exciting surf rock side project, Tsar Bomba, which is a great big bomb in Russia, but also a band now. Browan, welcome back to Radio Labyrinth. And welcome back to the podcast. We're glad to have you. And even though your brother's here, you don't have to worry about him trying to upstage you.
It's like a family reunion up in here.
Yeah. Last time we were talking about the wrestling event. This time we're talking about St. Paul and the Broken Bones have a brand new self-titled album coming out October 10th. And I have to ask, because you're such a talented artist, are you doing the album cover?
I am not. They're making us do a photo for the album cover. And so we squeezed our butts into some suits and we put a photo of ourselves on the front of the cover. So whether you want it or not, you got a photo of it.
There you go. Now, is this coming out on LP and CD and all of that, as well as streaming?
Yeah, it'll be out on everything. But we've actually got our own record label now. So we're releasing it on our record label.
And with no connection to any kind of label or anything, just it's all yours?
Well, it's in conjunction with distribution through 30 Tigers, which is like a label services place in Nashville. And we've worked with them before. We worked with them on our first album. And great people and everything. And so they basically take care of all the distribution and everything. So we don't have to do it, but, it's called Oasis Pizza Records. And Oasis Pizza Records is basically just the guys in the band. And we all have like our own little like side projects and stuff too, that we release with those projects. So hopefully we can make it all work.
What's your side project called? It's Bomba something?
Tsar Bomba. Yeah. It's so Tsar Bomba, it's a surf band. Like, it's just an excuse for me to make like really loud noises with my guitar. It's me and a couple other guys from the Muscle Shoals up north from here. And, we're just playing right now. It's about 50% covers, 50% stuff we've written for it, but, I don't know. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if, people want to hear surf music, but it's, I've just gotten back into it after a few years away from it. And it's fun.
Why Tsar Bomba?
The Tsar Bomba was the largest nuclear device ever detonated on Earth. First of all, I thought it was kind of a cool name. Yeah, but too, like, something about surf music and the atomic era go hand in hand. I'm not sure what it is, but and I might be overthinking this. I might just be like, making excuses for naming my band this. But but it just seems like surf rock and atomic stuff go hand in hand. And
Yeah, that Cold War era.
yeah, it's like it was almost like that, like that really free will surf rock thing was because of the constant nuclear pressure. And so I don't know, it just seemed to fit everything.
And then you had the raw type of surf music. And then you had guys like Jan and Dean who did really slick music, and of course the Beach Boys who took it, got famous doing it, and then were allowed to kind of develop their own sound. And a lot of people don't ever talk about the Beach Boys 70s music, but there's some weird shit in there.
Dude, I love all that too.
Yeah.
Like I even like what is that song of theirs? And I didn't even realize it was theirs because I think it was a Mike Love track. But it was Sail on Sailor. You know that song?
Yes. Yes.
Such a great song.
How about Never Learn Not to Love You?
Oh yeah, man.
Charles Manson wrote that song.
So we're not singing though in this band. There's no singing, so I don't.
It's just jams.
Yeah, it's all instrumental stuff.
Do you get a punk feel?
Man, it's really noisy. So it's like me and my buddy Zach Thomas plays bass, and then a guy named Jay Salusha. He's a Birmingham dude, but then we've also got this guy who plays Farfisa. So it's just a 4-piece.
Nice.
Like Man or Astro Man.
Actually, Brian is the drummer for Man or Astro Man, and he lives in Birmingham.
Oh, okay.
Rehearsing at his club Saturn in Birmingham, actually.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. It's funny. Man or Astro Man was the first when I turned 18. Scott, the guitarist in my band, he wanted to take me out since I could get into a club. And the first club we went to Athens, and that's who I saw first was Man or Astro Man.
That's funny. I'll have to tell Brian.
I have a daughter who's a musician. She's 19 now, and she's been playing ever since she was like 3. So I guess I had some questions based upon what I see her experience as. It's like, what advice would you give young musicians who are timid about putting their personal passion out there and being judged for that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. On one hand, I think sometimes I might be a bad person to ask because I think I'm missing a part of my brain that makes me nervous about what people think.
I wish I had that
stage. I know, I've never. So I've just always kind of like done things and been like, if somebody likes it, that's fine. If nobody likes it, that's fine too. But I would say this piece of advice would be to just keep going. Mm-hmm. It's so often, especially anymore with AI, like it's hard to tell where all of this is going, and you've really, sometimes you get really worried that like, well, maybe AI can just do all this stuff that I'm doing better than I can. And the important part is just to keep going, keep pushing forward, and keep discovering things about yourself that you could do.
I look at it. I think. Well, I sent this in the group message yesterday. I was like, Taylor Swift isn't really I don't think she's inspiring young girls, young musicians. I think she's crushing them because Bella's looking at it like, well, that's unachievable. And it's like, no, do it because you like it. Do it because other people see that you like it, and she's got a couple of songs that are streaming on all platforms that's been produced. But other than that, she's so timid about promoting herself because she's like, there's a million other people out there like me. And it's like, no, actually there's not. And I think it just, it's just the grind and the hustle, which she's also timid about getting into.
Is she based the same place you're based?
She's in Athens. Yeah.
She's in a great time to get started. I mean, I feel like she should just go out and find a bunch of people her age and just start writing songs and playing shows together, you know?
Well, she's in a bluegrass band with a bunch of older people. So she does that. And then she has like her solo stuff, which she does piano, guitar, and saxophone. And I'm like, dude, play the saxophone more. She doesn't, she's been hired for some weddings for the saxophone, but other than that, she doesn't take it up on stage with her.
Great. Nobody plays saxophone anymore. Maybe they're just, not into plumbing fixtures or whatever. But I mean, but people love horns. I'm in a horn band, so I can attest to that.
So is this the first time you guys been back to Fame to record?
Yeah, man. This is the first time I've been back there to record an album since Here We Rest with Jason Isbell. Whatever year that was, 2009 maybe.
Yeah.
So this is funny. I walked in and they're showing me all of this new stuff that they've done to it. I look down and I see this amp sitting there and I'm like, that's my amplifier. And I left it there the last time we recorded at Fame in 2009 and it was still there.
You just leaving amps places?
Well, I mean, to be fair, it was a super cheap amp and I never liked it very much. So, but yeah, they still had it. And I left it there again when I left. I didn't feel the need to bring it with me.
Are you on tour right now? Or obviously not right now because you're doing this. But I mean, when did you finish up your last tour and when are you going to go back out? Do you have any plans for the new record?
So, yeah, we do. We're going to Europe. Right now, the only dates that have been announced are Europe in January. So we're going to be over there January 22nd through February 12th. I think it starts off in London and goes over through like France, Belgium, and Germany, and then comes back over here.
No Kiev date.
After that, I'm sure we'll be no Kiev date. No. After that, I'm sure we'll be back touring every major and minor market in the United States because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Well, good, because maybe I'll get a chance to finally come. Bring the kid with me.
I hope you can.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Because I know we've got an Atlanta date in there. I'd put you guys all on the list.
Nice.
Cool.
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah.
Y'all are really good. Like
thanks.
like a really
Thanks.
good band. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Have you guys ever heard Dustin's band?
No.
we don't. We're not interested.
What's your band's name, Dustin?
It's really good. I like it a lot.
The King Reno was the first band, or the second band. The first one that it came from was the Clandestines.
What kind of music was it?
It was college alternative at the time, very kind of noisy, kind of a weird mix because the three other guys that were in the band were 5 and 6 years older than me. I was like 16 and they were in their early 20s. And they had hired me. So that was the thing. I was touring and doing all this stuff. I remember I moved out of the house and Mom didn't want me to move out of the house. And then she said, what are you going to do with these guys? And I was like, I'm going to be a rock star. And that we played together for 10 years. And then we all just kind of had kids and lives and kind
So
of
was
set
it
apart.
The Clandestines or just Clandestine?
The Clandestines.
All right, because there's a band called Clandestines on Bandcamp, and I'm trying to find your band.
They're like a Scottish or a Irish band. And there is a metal band I saw called Tsar Bomba.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to sue the shit out of them.
Yeah, they're not any good.
How come you and Browan never thought about doing a band together?
By the time he was wanting to be in a band, he got to be in he hooked up with, he blew past me. Like I had 10 years in trying to struggle in a van, and in his first year and a half, you were in a bus with Jason touring Europe. And that was, it was weird. I taught him how to play guitar and then he blew past me on that too.
Yeah, I was going to ask if Dustin was if your older brother was your inspiration to pick up the guitar.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, we both had the same inspiration, I think, with kind of the guys in our family. The Lollars all played guitars, and everybody sang, everybody played music and stuff. But he was the one that really latched on to band stuff, you know. And I have clear memories of laying awake in bed at night. Remember when we used to share a bedroom in Knoxville?
Yeah.
Yep.
And he would like he'd be playing like Smithereens, and I mean the lights were out. Like, so we had a bunk bed, and the lights would be out, and I was trying to go to sleep, and Dustin was playing like Disintegration, you know, Cure, like just like blaring it, you know, going to sleep. By the way,
Yeah.
That's a great album.
no, it's awesome, you know, but it was huge inspiration, and that's. But like I think about that a whole lot, because I mean before that, the only thing I was allowed to listen to was like church music.
Or Weird
Oh yeah,
Al.
Noel's dad was a preacher, right?
Yeah. In a lot of ways, he opened up in almost every way, he opened up my eyes to like, you know, there was a whole other world out there that you could like participate in if you like worked towards it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of moved to Georgia, like middle of high school for me, and he was in elementary school. And I didn't really, I mean, I learned how to play and everything before I moved here. But once I moved here, it was strange because we moved into a town in Griffin where there was a music scene. There was bands, you know, like 5 or 6 bands that everybody knew from high school. And, you know, I didn't join any of those bands, but all of a sudden these guys who were older than us came in to play one of those, you know, everybody's going to be playing at this theater, and they've got like a lineup of 5 bands. And we were like, well, who's the 5th one? Like, there's not another band. And they're like, oh, it's these guys from Athens. We were like, cool. And they're instrumental. And I was like, oh, wow. And they're looking for a lead singer. And I was like, okay. So we saw them play and immediately went up and talked to them, and come to find out, no, they're from Griffin. They all went to high school where we did, but they're just older than us. And everyone assumed they were from Athens, but they weren't, because they sounded like REM. And that was pretty much what we tried to do. But he saw all of it, like every week going to practice and then bringing stuff home and practicing at home. And he would just watch me practice and be like, hey, how do you play this? And I'd hear him messing around with it, but I didn't know that he would go into it the way he did. They ended up moving to Alabama. I ended up staying in Atlanta. And then, you know, all of a sudden I start hearing from Mom that, oh, he's joined, you know, he's at his high school. He's like, you know, one of the best guitar players there. And he's got these bands that want to, you know, play with him. And all of a sudden he took off. He just like, all of a sudden,
That's
you know,
cool.
he's playing with Jason Isbell. And at the time I knew who the Drive-By Truckers were. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, you know, that's amazing. And from then on till now, you're always doing something, you know, you're on TV, you know, being on TV or opening for the Stones or, you know, all this great stuff you've done. And I just find myself scouring the internet and answering questions that people are like, you know, where'd that guy learn how to play? Like me. What kind of guitar is that? Is he really playing?
Well, I taught him how to play Peter Gunn. That's what you told me. That was the first thing you taught me how to play was Peter Gunn.
Yeah. Now
it's funny. Al tries to pick up. He's got a guitar. He's got a drum kit, and he wants to learn keys. But he thinks it should. Like Bella just picks it up and she can play it. She can hear it and she can play it. And he thinks that he should be able to do that too. And it's like, yeah, that's not all that normal. But he gets frustrated with it.
With this new album, St. Paul worked with a producer named Egg White. It's his actual name. Mm-hmm. He's an English, and he's mainly a vocal producer. He's worked with like Celine Dion and Adele and a few other Adele and Celine Dion. And we somehow convinced him to come over and work with us, not because we're us, but because we're close to Fame Studio, and he wanted to work there. So he's one of those guys that he could be talking to you about a part. He's like, what if we try this? And he would just like, he would be talking about it, and then he would just like reach for an instrument or whatever. and it would just be a guitar, and he would just play it. And he would sit down behind a piano and be like, well, Al, what if you play this? And it would just be perfect. But he's never taken a music class in his life. And that kind of talent is crazy. I've never seen that kind of talent before. Like, he was born with it. Like,
Yeah, it's wild how people's brains work and they can do that. I wish I could do that.
yeah, I don't get it. I mean,
Like Zappa
Put my
would
guitar-
have symphonies in his head. Frank Zappa would have symphonies in his head constantly, and his mind was always music, always music. And they'd make an album, and and he would go back and lay over new tracks, and nothing was ever finished for him. And that's just the way his mind worked. And he of course passed way too young, but if he started getting into the symphonic stuff, even that had the Zappa flair to it. But as far as I know, I don't think he really knew how to write music until later.
that was the Yellow Shark, right? The symphonic album that he did.
But there's so many of those that he never put down, never recorded. There's just sheet music. I interviewed Dweezil last year, and he told me that his dad was just so prolific at writing all this stuff.
Are you a big Zappa fan?
I'm a fan of a certain era of Zappa. There's
Which
lots
era?
of, mostly the 70s and 80s. No, I do like some Mother stuff, but you get to Roxy and Elsewhere. I love that. I love Chic Your Booty is one of my favorite albums of all albums. I asked Dweezil if they'll ever, because Dweezil in his band, and he finds young musicians, and they all are really good, and they practice. I asked him if they would ever do Thing Fish, which is a weird production, like a Broadway musical that Frank wrote and that they recorded, but the subject matter I think is a little too iffy for modern ears. But I mean, a lot of the '80s fun stuff is fun. I like Ike Willis a lot. I think he was a good vocalist and a good guitar player. Chic Your Booty is my favorite of all.
That band about that time was it was hard to find any better musicians on earth than those guys.
What's your album?
I think I go back and forth lately. It's been between Apostrophe Overnight Sensation and One Size Fits All. I love One Size Fits All and always have, because it was able to be like math rock, but still had groove.
Yeah.
Chester Thomas was playing drums on that, and he was somehow able to keep the pocket so deep that you don't even feel like you're listening to something so complex.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apostrophe I love as well. I think that's an amazing record. Fun songs.
Yeah. Good songs.
Yes.
I think. Anyway, I could talk about Zappa all day long.
Could probably educate me, because I don't know a lot about music, but I know about the stuff I like. Have you ever heard of Thing Fish? Have you ever listened to that record? Yeah, I mean, you could.
Yeah, and I mean, kind of roughly about AIDS, right?
It's conspiratorial about how the government created AIDS by putting it in mashed potatoes in prisons, and all the prisoners that were given the secret formula and turned into potato-headed mammy ducks.
That's Zappa.
Yeah.
That would be a rough one to pull off these days.
And that album had, I think, Terry Bozzio. Was that her name? Terry might be the guy. I don't know. I'm tired.
The drummer,
but, but the Bozzios were on it, and she plays a character. And there's a lot of old Zappa songs that are woven in and recreated for this. It's a great album if you've never listened to it. It's funny as shit. Ike Willis is great as the Thing Fish, doing the I guess it's like an Amos and Andy type of voice, but it's all in fun.
Yeah. He was Terry Bozzio's first album, Zoodalores? Was that the first one he played on?
Might be. That's a good album too.
I tend to like the more like direct Zappa stuff, the more like rough around the edges. It's also like that. Again, I'm sorry, you guys can cut all this shit out if you want to. I don't know. I mean, I love talking about Zappa, but I feel like he came along at just the right time where technology hadn't gotten to the point where everything could be perfect.
Yes.
So everything was kind of rough in the best possible way still. That's the reason why I love that era. Like 73 through 79, is just perfect because it's just before the 80s. It's before Chad Wackerman got into the group and everything became very stiff for me. Yeah.
And Alan Zavad. And Dale Bozio was the wife, and she was in Missing Persons. So everybody knows that song. What is their big hit? Destination Unknown?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Isn't that Destination Unknown?
Destination Unknown.
And then I'll say one more thing. And you can watch this on YouTube. Frank Zappa playing a bicycle on the Steve Allen show when he was a teenager. That's pretty interesting. So he's always been involved. Not to mention the fact that he's involved in the Laurel Canyon conspiracy and his... Never mind. We won't go there. All of those 60s rock stars lived in Laurel Canyon, and they were puppets of the CIA and MK Ultra and the Defense Department to get hippies to do drugs and end the war movement. See, I'm nuts, but I do these deep dives sometimes. I don't believe it, but it's fun to listen to. Radio Labyrinth is brought to you this week and every week by our wonderful sponsors, the Punchline Comedy Club in Atlanta, Georgia. Coming up at the Punchline, September 5th through the 7th, comedian April Macy. She's very funny. On September 6th, Chris Frangiola. Greg Warren, who is supposed to join us in the upcoming episode, is at the Punchline September 11th through the 13th. Ben Bankus, who's very funny. If you follow him on TikTok and all other social media platforms, he's hilarious. He's there September 18th through the 20th. And comedian Brad Upton on September 21st. For more information and how to get tickets and make your reservations, just go to punchline.com. And by the way, in the coming weeks, we're going to start giving away tickets to go see your favorite comedians at the Punchline. So stay tuned for that. And thank you to the Punchline for your sponsorship. Well, we want to talk about some of the other things besides music that you enjoy. Certainly your art is amazing. And I want you to play. It's Browan Lollar prints.bigcartel.com, and that's where people can go and look at your artwork, correct? Your and buy prints, perhaps?
Yeah, you can buy prints from there. I've got some paintings up there on there right now, but honestly, since the band is off the road for the next couple of months, before the album release tour, I'll be painting a bunch in between now and when we go back out.
What motivates you to do that? Have you always just had this desire to create things, whether it's music or art?
I love creating money in my bank account. It's a real passion.
Yes.
No, man, I don't. It's the only two things I've ever known how to do, honestly. And I'm not the best at either one of them, but I love doing both of them. So I just keep doing them. I think the way things are now, you have to be really good at social media to be somebody.
Yeah, to a degree.
I suck at it.
Yeah, you're better off not doing it because you have actual skills. A lot of the people that are famous on social media don't have any skills. They're just famous on social media.
They're just good at social media,
Yeah. Like not to knock that little kid, but what's the Rizzler going to do in 5 years once he has, hair and a deep
wrestling?
voice? Yeah, that might be something he could do.
Dialysis.
What?
That's funny.
What is the Rizzler? What is he famous for?
You don't need to. Don't worry about it. You're not. He's a little kid.
Pumps.
Yes, he's a little kid, and he's making a shitload of money. Kids make money on social media opening boxes. My son wants to watch this kid. I try to introduce him to cartoons and stories, but he says, "No, I want to watch that kid opening Hot Wheels cars." Okay, we'll watch that.
But Al was into that for a little while too, and he would make me videotape him when we'd get like a blind box.
Yeah,
I would never post it though. But
no, I'm not doing that.
yeah.
But Gil
and
also
a lot of the stuff on social that the kids are watching with like other families and kids, it's not real. It's not real life.
No,
No.
Yeah, they're spending money to make it to where they can make money maybe on social media.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yep.
to show this extravagant lifestyle. It's not real.
But he has an ear for music. I actually hear him singing in the back of the car, and he sings on key. But and it surprises me. And he can pick out the beginning of a song, because I, of course, get annoyed with certain songs. I don't want to hear them. And he'll hear the first riff or just a little bit of the song. He'll go back to that one. I want to hear that one. And I made a mistake, because I love Weird Al, but I don't need to hear Yoda 3 times a day. And he doesn't even know who Yoda is, but he likes that song.
Weird Al would be a huge step up from what we have to listen to. What my daughter makes.
What does your daughter listen to?
What is the Demon Hunter thing? That's
K-pop
Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's the collabo that they did with, I think it was Zombies versus Descendants. Mm-hmm. Descendants. And then so Descendants and Zombies are a thing, but then they did a collaboration album that is like the worst of both, Really, it just sounds like AI is just like scratched your ear holes. It's awful. Yeah. My daughter has the worst taste in music ever.
Well, hey man, that K-pop Demon Hunter thing, I mean, it's catchy.
It's catchy, yeah.
Well, it's crazy that it knocked out Weapons from the last week. It was the highest grossing movie of the weekend. Crazy part is it had already been out on streaming for 2 weeks, and they put it in the theater, and it still blew everything up.
That was like the #1 song as well, wasn't it?
That's crazy.
Yes, it was. It was like it was #1 in top 40, I think, or top 100.
It's not even a real. I mean, I guess they recorded it. That's real, but it's not like a real band.
Well, neither were the Archies, and they had a #1 song.
That's true.
Yeah.
Or the Monkees at first. I mean, a couple of them had to learn how to play, or they were very rudimentary.
They had the looks.
Yeah. And they could act goofy and be like the Beatles and stuff. I can tell you that when Gilbert used to listen to Coco Melon and stuff like that, but I blocked it. Every time a video would come up in YouTube Kids, I would block it, because you can do it there. You can't do it on regular YouTube. So all that stuff is out of the YouTube Kids, and I'm finding all these really cool eclectic kids things that are funny, that are tongue-in-cheek. The worst one, and I don't hate this guy, but if anybody ever heard of Danny Go?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't mind that guy, because I think he's really positive, and they're visually stimulating songs as well if you're watching him. But he really uses a lot of effects. I don't know if he can really sing. But when I hear an auto-tune song, and getting back to contemporary music, when I hear an auto-tune song, and it's a lot of it in modern country, it's like offensive to my ear, and I don't know why. I don't know why. And it's not like, okay, this might be a catchy song, but once it starts singing, I can't do it. I have to change. It's not
real.
Yeah.
This is strange to me, though. Sam Smith. You guys know Sam Smith.
Yeah.
Right when he first started coming out, we were kind of coming up at the same time, and he blasted right past us. But first time I heard him, I was like, is he auto-tuned? And the person in front of the house, his front of house guy was there, and he was like, no, we don't do any of that. He just sings like that. And it was incredible, because he was so precise with his singing. It sounds like autotune, but it was because these kids are being raised listening to auto-tuned singers and start singing like the auto-tuned singers. And Sam Smith, that's the reason he sings the way he does. He
unconsciously mimicking that auto-tune.
Yeah, he's mimicking auto-tune singers.
Well, then you look at modern country, and the biggest star, probably Morgan Wallen. I know he can sing. I've heard him sing without using auto-tune, but all of his songs have that in it. And then there's a guy, Tyler Childers, whose songs I think are amazing, and he doesn't use it. So
yeah, it comes down to production, doesn't it? And producer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, can't the artist be like, do not auto-tune me?
Yeah, definitely. But if you want a song in the alternative charts, then it would probably do it a favor to have some sort of auto-tuned thing in it.
Really?
Because it's just like Dustin said, it's a production trick.
Yeah.
Auto-tune's been around for a long time, and how it was first intended to be used, and when it's used right, you don't notice it. that's the whole point of using
Right.
it. Would never be able to notice it. Problem was people, I think Cher was probably the first one that made it ridiculous with "Do you believe in life after love? You believe in life after love, after love, after love." That's just, that was ridiculously over the top, and it became something that, you know, it's kind of like that Dr. Dre, that little keyboard lick that he does, that's in, you hear it and you automatically think, okay, that's West Coast rap from the 90s.
3 into the 4.
Yeah, it's the same. It's one of those little things that if it catches and people realize it's a hook, it'll be done to death.
Well,
yeah.
Well, Browan, have we missed anything that we need to talk about tonight, as far as the new album and the new band and your art? And then stick with us.
I think we touched upon everything. I can make up a few things.
Please feel free.
What's the record label again?
We call it Oasis Pizza Records.
I love that.
There is a story behind that. If you
go ahead.
So the very first tour that our band went on, I booked. We had to make it from one place I think we were in Knoxville, to a place in Whitesburg, Kentucky. We had a day off in between. So somebody booked us a show at this place called Oasis Pizza. And it was a $200 guarantee. And I was just going on like a wing and a prayer. Like I didn't know anything about this place. We show up and it's literally it's like a Hunt's, Hunt's Brothers Pizza.
Is it in a gas station?
It was in a gas station. It was a pizza shop attached to a gas station. And we were literally playing to people eating their dinner. And so we were like, well, let's do this. Actually, this was the place where they had a sound guy, and he showed up. His name was Moose. And he showed up and he's like, y'all got horns. I'm going to have to go back to my house and grab my other mic. Anyway, we played the show, and Paul was he was like walking on tables, like over people's pizzas, screaming in people's faces. And, we sold out all of our merch, and the owner gave us like triple what he guaranteed us, which was
nice.
And so since then, it's just sort of a thing. Like every time we walk on stage, we say Oasis Pizza to each other, just to sort of remind each other where we came from and stuff. And so we named it Oasis Pizza Records.
That's great.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, now I know you're not a social media maven, but can you tell everybody where they can find you and the band on social media, or how about a website so you don't have to read everything?
BrowanLollarPrints.BigCartel.com is for artwork. And then St. Paul and the Broken Bones.com for the other band stuff. And for everything else, there's the dark web.
Well, we wanted to dive in and talk about, we know that you love Stephen King. We all love Stephen King. But unfortunately, we don't have enough time. So when do you go back on tour?
Man, I'm going to be home for months. Like 2 or 3 months.
We'll come back on again and we'll talk about Stephen King and some of your favorite movies and books and stuff. I know you like Dark Tower, right? You love Dark Tower?
Yeah, I'm a big Dark Tower guy.
Have you picked up that new Stand book, that's Stories from the Stand? The end of the world as we know it? Yeah.
Got it right there.
I'm 4 stories in. It's really good so far.
It's good?
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to do our staff picks real quick. If you'd like to stick around and give us a staff pick when we're done with ours, we would love to have you do that. Mine was stolen by Jeff, so I'll just say, if you're on TikTok and you like snarky humor from millennial ladies, look up at Mandy Says What. That's Mandy with a Y, who is very funny. She is the scientist of the Straits, and she does daily scolds. She has 30,000 plus followers and growing, and lots of likes. And she says she has 40 years of researching the men, but it's a lot of fun. They're nice and short.
One that I definitely did not steal from Tim is Dusty Slay on Harlan Highway.
That was a very funny episode. Dusty Slay, yeah, he held his own. I think he did a good job holding his own with Harland, and they did a lot of great improv. I didn't know Dusty was so good at improv, but I thought it was good. I did, and I think you did steal it from Tim. I think anytime something Dusty is related to, it should always default to Tim.
Man, Harlan's a menace.
He's great. Yeah, I know, but he is. What's yours, Lizzie?
I've been watching a lot of Twisted Metal, thanks to Jeff.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's really good, and it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's silly, but it's also really good. And then that got us playing the video game.
Yeah.
Watching it, so. Which, the video game's not as fun as the show. I'll tell you that much.
Let's see. My staff pick is, again, trying to fill up my new 4K collection. So they came out with the 4K version of 1991's The Fisher King with Robin Williams and Jeff Bridges. And it was a Terry Gilliam movie. And it's one of those movies that you will laugh at and cry at the same time. It was probably the one that really, for me, broke out Robin Williams as a dramatic actor.
Yeah.
But yeah, the transfer looks amazing. And all of Terry Gilliam's stuff is great, but this one in particular is one that I hadn't seen in years, and it's still just as good as I remembered it. Browan, what do you got for a staff pick?
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to go with a book because I haven't watched anything in a long time. I might go with this book that I just finished called Our Haunted Planet by John Keel. But it's basically just a history of strange things that have happened throughout history that there's plenty of evidence for that these things actually happened, but nobody can explain, and everybody just sort of doesn't talk about. So,
cool. What's it called again?
Our Haunted Planet.
All right.
Check it out.
I will too. I'm into that kind of stuff.
Hey, I'm back, Mr. Sam Elliott, and I want to talk to you about one of the places I like to go whenever I'm in the Atlanta area, called Atlanta Pizza and Euro, and they've proudly been serving the East Metro Atlanta area for over 40 years. Atlanta Pizza and Euro is a place to be this summer. I don't know if they have Coors. Coors is a banquet beer, but they are featuring 3 tavern breweries and Night on Ponce. That's an IPA, and it's now available on draft. Family-owned and operated, independent restaurants are a dying breed. And Atlanta Pizza and Euro continues to be a local favorite, serving the east side of Atlanta for over 30 years. Hey, Mike's food truck is out and about, so if you see the food truck, run up. Contact Mike at 770-483-6228 if you're interested in booking the food truck for your corporate or private event. Tuesday nights, they got team trivia from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Bring your smartest friends and test your trivia knowledge against the best Conyers has to offer. Hey, they're open for dine-in or takeout Monday through Friday from 11 to 9. Saturdays, 12 to 9. They're closed on Sunday, which is Lord's Day, dude. Another fine sponsor of Radio Labyrinth is LDI Repro Printing. Do you have commercial or residential construction printing needs? Well, what are you waiting for? Contact LDI Repro Printing of Athens. They've been in Athens, Georgia since 2005. With fast turnaround and affordable prices. Call 706-316-9366 or email them at athens@ldiline.com.
Guys, are you reading the online comments?
Gotta read some of these comments.
I'm loving your guys' comments.
You're reading your own comments?
Yeah, they're really good. I worked hard on them.
The secret is don't read the comment card.
All right, we do have some comments from you last week. Blind Guardian mentioned, incredible, just made my day, from Douglas 1977. Is that your husband?
Yes.
Okay, that's from Jones. And SeaTac Stalker said, great interview. Thanks, Matt and Jeff, for the posse. And if you didn't catch that episode, go back and check it out because it was a lot of fun. Dustin put up a couple of polls. Where would you most like to see the Dungeon Crawler Carl universe next? TV show, overwhelmingly 100%. And who is your favorite Dungeon Crawler Carl character? Carl at 57%, Princess Donut at 29%, Mordecai at 14%, and Mongo, poor Mongo got a 0, and we all love Mongo.
Mongo's appalled.
Mongo is appalled. Let's do some plugs. First of all, I would like to welcome our latest executive producer, whose name I don't know, but he goes by The Walkman, and he signed up at the $25.
Sony Walkman?
No, not that guy, Jeff, that you used to drive around and harass when you were a teenager. No, his name is The Walkman, and I have reached out because we want to get you a T-shirt and all that stuff. But thank you for becoming an executive producer. That's $25, and that means you are helping us keep the show going. So all of the Patreons do, but you guys are executive producers and you get your names shouted out. So I'll tell you about the Patreon in a second, but thank you to The Walkman, John Allen, Matt Carter, Chris Chandler, Mike D, Jim Fortner, Roby Neely, Jeff Peterson, Tim Slayton, and Brian and Chelsea Smith. We appreciate it very much. Now, we have other tiers, so you can just go to patreon.com/Tim Andrews and sign up at any level. We are now posting every week if we have a guest coming up. We want you to go there if you're a member, get the app or whatever, but contribute. We're going to post a lot more on the Patreon, but whenever we have a guest with a lot of lead time, we would love to have questions from you, and you can also post on there text impressions to Tim, some voices you'd be interested in hearing me do. So again, that's patreon.com/Tim Andrews. And if you are going to sign up and you're on an iPhone, just go to a web browser because they rip you off. Please remember to rate and review us on Spotify. And as always, remember to subscribe to the YouTube page, like the video, all that stuff that every podcast tells you to do. Turn on your alerts, all that. But subscribing is great too. Even if you're just a listener to the audio portion, go and subscribe. Dustin does a kick-ass job producing this show each and every week. So I want to thank our guest this week, Browan Lollar. Thank you very much for joining us. And come back again and we'll talk all about Stephen King sometime.
Will do. Thanks, guys.
So until next week, please remember to keep it
canon.
They say all good things come to an end.
What's that got to do with this show?
Lost in the rain.